Hello, everybody. Here he is. Hi, this is Tanya from Dolly Day's Nursery. And look what we have here. He arrived home safe and sound. I was so stressed out when I got to the airport last night and the suitcase he was in was missing. Thankfully, it wasn't lost. It just missed the plane. Let's see what we can do here. Just missed the plane. He was left, well, not left, but he was caught up in customs. And my other suitcase was also searched in customs, and then this one was as well. So somewhere along the way, mind you, I'll say this, we had a very outrageous trip home yesterday. Our flight left Salt Lake City at 5:25 a.m. We had to get a private shuttle to the airport because the regular shuttle wasn't going to be running until 4:30 in the morning, and it wouldn't have gotten us to the airport until 5 o'clock, but 5 o'clock was basically when we were going to be starting boarding our plane. So we had to get a private shuttle. We left the hotel at 2:45 a.m. and got to the airport, of course, with plenty of time. Surprisingly to me, there weren't any agents working at all. Like, there were about 4 people in the lineup when we got there. And we didn't even know how to use the kiosk to get our boarding passes, and so someone came into the line and helped us. Then we got that done and we got in line. So it was about 4 o'clock or 4:30ish when the agents, well, maybe 4 o'clock, when the agents showed up to start checking in people's baggage. So that's where we started. We flew out of Salt Lake City and went to Minneapolis. We changed planes there. We were only at the airport barely long enough to go to one of the stores there to get a bottle of pop and some milk to take our medication. And then we boarded the plane. We were totally exhausted. I did not go to sleep. I didn't go to bed. So before flying out of Salt Lake City, the last time I went to bed was Friday night. That's crazy. But anyway, we were really tired. And we got on the plane and I just crashed. I basically kept my eyes closed. Not that I was always asleep, but I was just too tired to keep them open. And so I didn't get any refreshments on the plane. I did have my own pop brought with me, which when we landed in Toronto, we had to get to the security and the Canadian border security. So I popped in the washroom and used the washroom, and I came out and I grabbed my drink and I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm outside of security. I have a full bottle of pop and had to throw it in the garbage. But anyway, we went on through. Everything was fine. And we I got through on the other side, passed our boarding passes over to go through security, and there was no barcode on them. So we had to go to the kiosk to print them. Got to the kiosk, and it came up, sorry, you're too late. You can't print them. So we went in line. We got them printed there, and from there, found out how close we are to missing our plane. We went very quickly through security and got that all done. On the other side of security, we are hearing this is the final boarding call for flight whatever number to St. John's, Newfoundland. And we looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh. We took off running and found out like how far we had to go in Toronto Airport to get to the gate. I have asthma, so running and being in a rush is not good with my breathing. While we were speed walking, we had already heard that final boarding call 3 times. So I look at my husband, I'm like, listen, you go ahead. I'll get there, but you get there. So he took off running. I went as fast as I could. I speed walked over the moving sidewalks. Came to a place where you had to turn and go downstairs. I went downstairs. But the escalator was out of service. So I literally ran down over 2 flights of steps. Luckily, I didn't fall on my face. Asked someone, am I going the right way? And they said, yes, just keep going to the end. And then you have to go up 2 more sets of escalators. I'm like, oh my gosh, where in the world am I going? And I finally get to an area where there were WestJet agents and they were just sitting in the seating area with no customers waiting. And I'm like, can you get a message over so that, they'll know that I'm on the way? And they were like, you know what? You got 10 minutes before the flight is to take off. You're fine. Well, I didn't feel fine. I kept on going. And finally, I got to where I had to go up these escalators. I was thinking as I'm going, that's okay. I'll just, run up these escalators and get up there as quick as I can. When I get to them, I look up and it's so steep. I'm like, nope, I can't do that. It would be like climbing a mountain. So I got up the escalator and I'm still walking down to where the gate is. And I finally see my husband and he's sitting there and he's just drenched. And of course his breathing is not really well at this time. So anyway, they got us through. And as soon as we went through the door, they closed the door and announced flight is closed. We got on the plane and got to Newfoundland. Well, it wasn't so great because I retrieved one suitcase, thought, wow, that's great. That came off quick. And then we waited a little bit and the belt stopped. And then I saw someone putting the stroller in from outside. So I was like, that's perfect timing. So I went over and I picked up the stroller, and when I laid it down inside the bag, there was a piece that was bouncing around type of thing. And I reached in and got it, and I'm like, there's no cup holder on my stroller, so this belongs to someone else. So I take it over to the baggage office, and when I just said, this was in with my stroller, it doesn't belong to me. So she thanked me. And when I went back to my stroller, I'm like, hey, wait now, this doesn't look right. And I get the bag off, and the one part of it is like completely broken off, and the footrest and everything, and that's all completely broken off. And then on the fabric part of it, it's like gouged out. I don't know how it happened. It was in a bag, and the bag was sealed up the top. So that was just the strangest thing. So I went over and told them at the baggage claim thing. It was so upsetting, and dealing with that. So she started the claim on that. Um, but of course, in order to be reimbursed, you have to go purchase a stroller and prove with the receipt that you purchased a stroller. Well, this stroller that I had, I only got it the Saturday before the Tuesday I left for to go to Utah, and this is a $649 stroller before taxes. Like, there's no way I can go out and purchase something at that price. Anyway, it was just so disappointing. And then in the mix of it, my parents are still over waiting for my next suitcase. And then I glance over, I'm like, is it there yet? And they were like, no. And so my husband asks, are they getting more luggage to put on the belt? And she said, no, whatever's there is there. Ah, well, what about my suitcase with this guy in it? And all our mementos and things that we bought for other people was in that suitcase. And then I was like, then I was getting upset. Not screaming mad upset, but just emotionally upset. And I told her, I said, listen, that suitcase has anywhere from $1,500 worth of value in it. And told her about this guy. And so she called Toronto, and sure enough, he was in Toronto, which is a good thing, because if he had been still left in the United States, she said I would possibly have anywhere from a 2-week to a 2-month wait to get that suitcase back. So I do have to be thankful that it was actually in Canada. It was still in the hands of Delta Airlines from on the US side, but at least he was there. So they did open and search the suitcase, inspect it, and he was fine. I mean, he was wrapped in the blanket, but like it was only one corner that was kind of just tossed back on him, so he wasn't exposed, and the diaper was still on his head and everything. So that was good. But my other suitcase that did arrive was damaged also. So they did replace that one and gave me a suitcase right there and then. Breathe. It was so exhausting. We thought that the suitcase would make it onto the plane last night, but it didn't. So he didn't come in until 6:45 p.m. today. And then it was couriered out to me. So that was good. I didn't have to drive the hour and a half to go to the airport to get him. So anyway, I am so happy to be reunited with this little guy. So I figured I would change him. He's done with his fishing. We didn't receive any awards, but all the compliments and encouragement that I got, you can't put a price on that. So I feel like he's going to be in my collection for a while. At first I was thinking maybe it's a possibility that I would sell him, but right now I just can't because he means so much. Anyway, I did pick up a few items before I left Utah yesterday, and I went to Target. And you've heard me say before, I love the Cat and Jack clothes, but we don't get it in Canada, so I picked up a couple of outfits specifically for him. And so I didn't realize until after I got to the cash that to the checkout that it's the same color scheme, so it's kind of cute. I got this one. So it has a yellow background with raccoons, burgundy raccoons all over it. And the closure with the snaps on it is burgundy with the cuffs burgundy. Has a little white top to the top. So the very top of it has a off-white background, and it has the burgundy stripes with the trim around the neckline burgundy. The snaps are yellow. So the snaps are yellow. All the raccoons are like the off-white as well, just outlined with the burgundy. And it has a little patch burgundy pocket there on the left side of the chest. And then I got this little outfit. It comes with the onesie and the pants and a handkerchief bib. So I'll get it all straightened out here. I took it off the hangers to make it easier to pack. Oh, strings. I'm getting there. So again, it's burgundy pants. There we go. And it has transportation on it. A green ice cream truck, a yellow van, a red car, and an aqua, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a truck or a car, and like is that a moped or something or another? So again, it's a off-white background, burgundy trim, yellow snaps with the bib, and there's the angel silk stuff on there. The bag popped open in the suitcase. And then the burgundy pants. And on each knee it says beep, beep. So that is adorable. I love that. I love Cat and Jack. Now this is the little outfit that my husband got in his shower gift. So I'm going to put that on him right now with the little sheep on the knees. It's just like a heather mix, off-white with gray. And there's sheep all over the onesie. And then the t-shirt says one of a kind. That's cute. So figured I'd take all this off, and look, you got the right color socks on. Okay, there he is, all dressed, one of a kind, and this little lamb came with that outfit. So I'm going to put that with him. I can get the tag off it. So all in all, this trip was the most fabulous trip that I think we've had so far. And we look forward to doing it again. There he is with his nice little lovey. So there you go. He's all safe and sound home and all changed out of his fishing gear. Gave his flies back to Papa. We borrowed some flies, trouting flies, to put in his vest and his hat. So we got those all given back to my dad. And there you go. He's all cozy. So thank you everybody for joining me in this video. And I will see you in the next one. So take care. Good night.